Sorry for the late start, everybody, but the Sabres blow the Leafs away 5-3 in very dramatic fashion. I was there, decked out in the goat headgear, wearing, in my opinion, the mask that Alex Lyon's goat head mask was fashioned after. Looks very similar, if you ask me. But anyways, super stoked. What a great game to be at. And Hurls, I sent a tweet out earlier today. I said this city might have a stroke if the Sabres sweep the Leafs, the Blue Jays take the first two games this weekend, the Amherst get revenge on Laval, which they did tonight, and the Bills demolish the Panthers. I think we're halfway there.
So far, so good, right?
Right, exactly.
My thought for Toronto fans is like, hey, at least you have the Jays, right?
Yeah, right.
There's a chance the Jays might win their third title before the Leafs get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Is insanity.
Yeah, is that true? That might be true. Someone check me on that. Well, definitely a Stanley Cup.
Well, no, they won.
Sure.
They made to the Eastern Conference Finals in '99.
Okay,
because that was, I think, their last year at the Gardens.
So they've made it there since '93, but since they've won a cup, the Jays have a chance to win their third championship, which would, in my opinion, make them Toronto's team, and by virtue of that, Buffalo's team, given that they played 2 years in Buffalo. But good night so far, especially for those amongst us that support both the Sabres and the Blue Jays. It's been a lot of fun for me. I love sports nights like this. It's kind of tough when you don't have two TVs. I was watching the Jays game on my phone and switching back and forth in commercials between the Sabres and the Leafs game. It's the World Series. I mean, I love baseball. I grew up playing baseball along with hockey, and to have game one of the World Series, I'm out in LA, obviously. So the vibe around here is crazy. People are obsessed with the Dodgers, but also to have it in Toronto, so close to where we grew up and so close to Buffalo, I think is really, really cool. So an unbelievable sports night, but we're here to talk about the Sabres.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, man, like, you can try and celebrate. Actually, I'm going to take this jacket off first because it really does a good job at holding in the heat. Actually, speaking of which, when I had the mask on, I was actually wearing like half of what back in the day when I played hockey, like half of the goalie gear you would wear playing street hockey as a goalie. You use your starter jacket as the chest protector. The jersey would go over the top of it. And then you'd have like a Franklin mask or a hockey mask. The Mileck pads are in the garage. So maybe if they finish the sweep off tomorrow, maybe I'll come to tomorrow's post-game show in full gear. I don't know. Matthias Samuelsson having a career night with 2 goals and 2 really nice goals. They weren't just like loopers at the net that just, leaked through. Like they were like a goal scorer goal. Like is that Rasmus Dahlin? Like they were, one was barring in. Beautiful, beautiful goals from and a great performance tonight from Matthias Samuelsson, Alex Tuck, and Tage Thompson. Finally getting on the score sheet and pulling through. And even though Tuck did get credit for what was believed to be a Josh Doan goal a few nights ago. But anyways, like I think if you were going to use a word for tonight's game, I think I would use the word resilient, because you kind of started to feel the same old Sabres vibes, even a little bit there in the second period where things were getting a little hairy. And then they let that early goal in the third to make it 4-3. You're like, oh no, here we go again. And then they just pull away. They bear down, they pull away. The Lion King comes up with some massive saves. And they talked about it too during the post game, like how different the penalty kill is now with them, because they have a goalie that they can depend on to make saves, and they can be a little bit more aggressive, especially pressuring the points. And that's maybe why you see them get the chances they do shorthanded. Whereas in the past with UPL, like you got to collapse a little bit more because, you can't always depend on him to make that save, or haven't been able to in the past.
Yeah. Eric Johnson, by the way, he called the game tonight. I know you didn't get a chance to listen, but it's pretty well accepted amongst the people that I tweeted it out, and a bunch of people responded. He was incredible. He was one of the best color commentators I've heard in a long time. But he specifically was talking about his time with the Sabres a lot, and the defenseman that he played with and also the goaltending. And he talked a lot about what type of confidence it gives to the team when they know, especially on the penalty kill, but also in high danger situations, that they know that their goaltender can make a big save, that can keep them in the game, can protect a lead, can keep them in the game when they're down. And the best example was tonight. It was on the penalty kill where Lyon tracked the puck about as well as I've ever seen, not ever, but recently seen a goalie track the puck on a tic-tac-toe play in front of the net. I think it was Michelli again. I'm not exactly sure, but it was in the third period, obviously, right before the Alex Tuck goal. But he goes east to west, across his crease, seals the ice, gets his pad down, eventually goes out to the point. Owen Power picks it off, goes down, gets it over to Alex Tuck, and basically game over. That's a game-changing save. Those are the saves that you need to win games in this league. And through 6 starts thus far in his Sabres career, Alex Lyon has provided that. He has lived up to every, I think, way exceeded expectations than we even had for him. I think you could kind of gather that he had this potential in him based upon his media interviews, his interviews with us, a lot of his games, even like we saw in that Panthers game when he went toe for toe with Devin Levi and won that game for the Panthers 2-1. But he's more than exceeded expectations. And his goat head, all black with a little red trim.
Oh, dude,
true hockey
supreme.
setup tonight looked unbelievable.
How about his stick, bro? His stick.
Good. I mean, the helmet, the stick, everything complemented each other so well. I considered going like an all chrome setup for my current ones. I'm glad I went with the retro nod to Kelly Rudy, but for a 1-off or a 2-off game where they wear the goat heads, I don't know how many opportunities he'll have this year, but that set is unbelievable. And he looks so good. He looks really quick. I even said it in the middle of the game. Like, even when defensemen are just going D to D in the defensive zone, he's constantly tracking the puck. He's constantly protecting the bottom of his net. He's almost like extremely anal and OCD about it, which is kind of the mentality you need as a goalie so that you're constantly staying focused. I actually need to do that a little bit more myself. But yeah, no, it's really remarkable. And I think he has taken advantage of the opportunity. Obviously, I think UPL was the backup tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if he is in fact healthy and cleared. I don't think they would have dressed him as the backup tonight if he wasn't, that he gets to start tomorrow night in Toronto. But it is Alex Lyon's net until he gives it up, and couldn't be happier for him.
Well, when they were interviewing Lyon after the game, he did, I don't know if they consider this like a hint, but he was talking about like getting the competitive juices going again when he sees, Colton Ellis come in and have a good game, and that makes him want to go back and obviously, shot for shot goaltending, because again, it's a competitive position. You want the net, and we had him on our show, before the season started, and he kind of made mention of this too. Like, he's a competitive guy. He feels like he's at his best when his back is against the wall. We've said that 1,000 times on this show. He did say, and when talking about Ellis, now I'll be there to support, him tomorrow. So I'm not sure if that's him kind of alluding to Ellis being the guy tomorrow.
It was specifically about Colton Ellis.
It was in a conversation about Ellis, because even Paul Hamilton pointed it out, because when I was listening to on the long car ride home, like even Paul Hamilton kind of pointed it out. He's like, we were talking about Ellis, and he was talking about Ellis, and he didn't say Ellis directly, but he kind of said, I'll be there for support, for him tomorrow. So he kind of alluded to it. I'm not saying that's for sure what's going to happen.
Yeah, I guess I assumed, based upon UPL being the backup tonight, that I thought that would signal he might get the start tomorrow. Especially
maybe they just wanted to have him out there to take some pucks during warmups. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he gets that in practice.
Sure.
So yeah, I don't know. Hard to say. Either way, I think this is good for all three of them, and this is good for Devin Levi. This is good for every goalie in the organization, that when they all succeed and they all support each other and there's a good vibe in the room, that helps the entire team. I said that this is the best goaltending situation the Sabres have had since Ryan Miller left in 2014. I don't remember who his backup. I don't remember who his backup was at that time, but clearly he's the best goalie that they've had in the organization, of course, since Dominic Hasek. And obviously one of the best American-born goaltenders in NHL history, but they haven't truly had a battery or a consistent bell cow starter since that. And it seems like they potentially have that in Alex Lyon, that hopefully UPL is able to reach the level that earned him that 4 times $4.5 million contract. And who knows? Obviously, it was one game, but Colton Ellis has proven at every single level he's been at that he's been able to perform in the past 3 years specifically. So this is a really good, Lindy Ruff said it earlier today, this is a good problem to have. You figure out the 3 goalie rotation. Obviously, you can't do it forever, but as it stands right now, I'm happy.
Yeah, again, and you see, again, we mentioned Levi gets the shutout, little revenge over Laval for the playoffs last year, 4-0 win. I mean, and Lindy did say that expect to see an Amherst get called up because of the Kozak injury. He's already said that Kozak will not play tomorrow night with a lower body. So Hellenius had 2 goals and 2 assists. He was in on every single one of Rochester's goals tonight. So I have to imagine it's him, right? Like, who else do you call up?
It would make sense. He's your top prospect. He's proven himself at the AHL level. He looked pretty good in the preseason and prospects challenge. I think his level of skill, his compete, I think that would match really well. Didn't notice Ostland too much tonight, but at the same time, he was way better than Josh Doon and Mason Gearston. I think he provides a level of playmaking and speed that you don't get with those other guys, and that's the way they're playing right now. I said it after the Ottawa win. I'll say it again. I would so much rather this team win 5-3, 8-4 than try to win a 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, 2-1 type game. I don't think they're built for that. Maybe they are with the level of goaltending and penalty killing they've had recently, but I think team chaos and team offensive creation and doing whatever they can to put themselves in the best position possible to score goals is the best strategy for this team moving forward.
Yeah, I agree. Matthias Samuelsson, night and day different defenseman than we've been used to, especially when we complained about him as often as we have in the past.
I think that's largely been, largely related to the injuries, but also obviously and I think because of that, his defensive game faltered, but he's healthy now.
And he mentioned that, like, again, they were interviewing obviously him with 2 goals. Did you see the odds? Like, somebody posted it actually on one of our threads on Twitter. He posted a $20 bet on Samuelsson finishing off the hat trick, and the $20 bet paid out $720. Like,
he had before the game. Matthias,
no, he placed that bet after the second period.
Okay, and
$20 to win you over $700.
Oh, I see. Had he scored, he would have won $720.
If you would have put $20 on Samuelsson to score a hat trick before the game, you probably win $1 million. Like,
yeah.
Who knows what the odds for that were?
Okay, those probably didn't exist, to be honest.
No, well, it would have been insanity.
No, I think, like, I'll keep saying it until I see a stretch of like 25 games or even the whole season at this point, but the guy has got to stay healthy. I think at his best in a 3rd pairing role or even 2nd pairing role.
They had him out there playing with Lyon a little bit tonight too.
Yeah, he's and with the right partner, I think he can match up with almost anyone at his best, but he has not proven that over a consistent clip. And I'll hold my breath until I see it and until we don't have to think about it or talk about it anymore. But I'll just take all of this with a grain of salt for now and be where our feet are, live in this moment. And tonight was one of his best games as a Sabre. So we can celebrate that.
Dion Dawkins is at the Blue Jays game tonight. He just posted a
saw
video.
That.
That's sick. First time we're going to an MLB game. Love to see it.
Interesting. That makes they travel to Charlotte tomorrow. kind of a little tight there, Dion. He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
No, it'll be fine. What is from Ryan Whitney? What is seen in Toronto? Baseball city. It is crazy, man. Like, I know they lost Marner this year. You know, obviously, it's a huge piece to be missing. But, like, that's still a talented hockey team. I feel like they're definitely playing below what they're capable of playing right now.
That roster's not that good.
You don't think so? I mean, you still got Matthews, you still got Nylander, you still got Tavares, you got Matthew Nyes. I mean, Riley was out tonight. Like, I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
Stolarz is the goalie.
Matthias Michelli had a nice game tonight, but replacing Marner with him in your top 6.
No, I get it. There's no replace. You're not just gonna find a guy to replace, Mitch Marner.
I know, but I think you could have done maybe a little bit better than that as the Toronto Maple Leafs. Yeah, I don't know. I think they'll make the playoffs. I think they'll lose in the first round again. And is that the standard for the Leafs these days? Like, you're the number 1 hockey market in the world. And you lose in the first round every single year, or the second round every single year. I know their fans expect more than that. I know Austin Matthews expects more than that. I don't think their defense is good enough. I don't think that they're that well-rounded. So, yeah, hard to say. This isn't a Leafs podcast, though.
No. Definitely not. Alex Tuck and Tage Thompson are finally looking like they're getting rolling. And couldn't have come at a better time, right? Like, I've been fawning over this for like the longest time. Just like, let's make this rivalry relevant again. The QEW rivalry. Like, and again, I have no idea when the last time they had a home and home series. No clue. But if there was any way to get it going, this would be the way. Let's get that bad blood between these two teams going early in the season, and hopefully it carries over into the next time they play them. Because I think we play them 4 times, right? I think you play division opponents 4 times.
Yep.
So you still got 2 more games against them. You saw it getting a little hairy there at the end. I believe it was with Kulik at the end of the game. I want to say it was Kulik who got buried in the ice. But man, I just love. I mean, you're always going to get a decent amount of Leafs fans in the arena, no matter what. But I did feel like what you talked about a little bit, and about kind of like the political atmosphere of the world right now might have affected their attendance. And obviously the Blue Jays, there were a lot of Blue Jays fans, Blue Jay chants during the game too in the crowd. A lot of Blue Jay chants.
Well, it's something everybody could probably agree on. The attendance was 17,000. If you had to guess, how many Leafs fans were there?
It wasn't half and half.
So maybe like 7,000?
I would say Buffalo probably had the edge tonight.
Okay, well, that's
no doubt. I would say 60-40.
Yeah, that's a positive, especially with how it's been in the past 10 years. I think that's a positive.
I mean, again, it might be closer than I think. Like, I will say this: when the Leafs scored, it was loud, no doubt. But like, it wasn't an overwhelming sea of blue like you're used to seeing.
But even the Sabres, as much as they want the barn to be packed with Sabres fans, they know what they're doing. They probably requested a game like this to be scheduled on a Friday night so that the arena could be packed.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, yeah, I think it's a good thing. I really do. They had a couple things beyond their control that were working in their favor tonight. A geopolitical conflict and also the World Series. Who would have guessed those 2 things would have happened? But at the same time, even at the Panthers game last week, the barn was at least mostly full against the former 2-time Stanley Cup champions, which I'm sure many people thought would be a loss. Of course, nobody knew what that team would look like and how injured they'd be. But I would say to start the year, Sabres fans have actually done a pretty good job of filling that place. And credit to us. Obviously, I haven't been there. I will be over Thanksgiving and Christmas. But I'll say that with the amount of shit and utter disappointment and just like apathy that's existed amongst this fan base for as long as it has, for them to show up, especially after that start, is pretty remarkable. And
no doubt.
I think the team probably appreciates it. They probably feed off it. And whenever the next home game is, I think it might be Tuesday against the Blue Jackets. 6:45 start. I obviously a normal Tuesday night game against the Blue Jackets isn't going to attract that many people, but I think that tickets as low as $11. People should fill that place to the brim.
I agree. Again, it's especially if they sweep the Leafs, right? Like, just go out there and just fill the barn. Get those start of 05 vibes, right? Before they
and like
started to take off.
You'll say like don't go when the team's not showing effort and not playing well, but when they are,
well, it's
as they
Bills
have-
night. It's Bills night on Tuesday night, so there will be Bills players in attendance, so that might draw a crowd.
hopefully following a win, like as they've shown in these past 5 games, they've shown effort. They've shown the will to win. They've shown togetherness. They've shown grit. So when the team shows that, the fans are going to show up. And I really, really do think that they will on Tuesday, especially after another quality performance, win or lose, in Toronto tomorrow night.
We had a question in the chat. Question for you smart hockey guys: is having 3 goalies is it less stressful because Rochester is so close? Personally, I want nothing to do with a 3 goalie rotation. I just don't care for it.
Well, I don't necessarily think it's going to be a rotation. I think they're just going to keep Colton Ellis to keep him. He cannot go to Rochester because he would have to clear waivers.
Yep.
And
Like,
he's not going to clear waivers. So they have to keep him.
Yep. And Devin Levi, I mean, he doesn't factor into this at all because, like as you just said, none of these guys can go to Rochester. It's not like Devin's, taking up a spot in Rochester and he deserves. I mean, realistically, if Colton Ellis wasn't there and he didn't perform so well in his first NHL start, we might be talking about if UPL doesn't, perform well enough when coming back from surgery, people are already talking about bringing Levi up. So, I mean, Levi doesn't factor into this at all. It's just the fact that you are stuck with these 3 goalies because you can't. If you put Ellis on waivers, he's getting claimed probably by St. Louis. So, I don't know if Luukkonen does start tomorrow. I mean, if he gets shelved, is it now Ellis's backup position? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's
Well,
very
I think there's
situation to be in, but frustrating at the same time.
I mean, I wouldn't I really don't believe it's that frustrating. Mostly
I hate
because no, but yeah, you can hate it, but you could also appreciate the pros of it, right? Like Ruff said it earlier, we have to be mindful of UPL's health. Who knows what will happen with any player? Look at the amount of injuries this team has had to begin the season. Like having a backup plan, having a double backup plan in case of injury, in case of emergency, is a good problem to have. Guys competing with each other, seeing shots in practice, being around the team. By all accounts, Colton Ellis is a really good dude, and the team really likes him already. And obviously, UPL's been there forever, and we already know that about Alex Lyon. I don't think it's that bad of a thing. Yeah, it takes one other roster spot, an extra forward or defenseman spot away from the other side of the lineup, but at the same time, like they're already calling guys up, they're already moving guys in and out. What's the worst thing in the world about having a third goalie at the NHL level? At this point, it's not going to happen for the entire season, and I think it'll eventually work itself out.
You would hope not, no.
Yeah, I think it's the worst. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I really don't.
I guess I just don't want to sit here and who were the 3 goalies the last time we did this? It was
I don't know.
Did we do this with Reimer? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it might have been Reimer.
We definitely did it with
maybe
Anderson. I know that.
Maybe Craig Anderson. Like I don't remember.
I personally just don't care for it at all. I just give me my 2 guys. Those are my 2 guys, and leave it at that. But
would you rather would you rather have 3 guys you can trust or 0 guys you can trust?
You mean you're using that word trust pretty loosely?
Well, 3
I have
guys.
1 guy I can trust right now.
But like 3 guys. At least for me, currently obviously it is 1 game from Colton Ellis, but I'm gonna live in the moment. There are 3 goalies on the NHL roster right now that I would trust starting any game. I really would.
I agree with that. But
you can say whatever you want about UPL, but
again,
he's proven it at the NHL level more games than people give him credit for. And he's been a relatively last year was tough, obviously, but we know that wasn't all on him. Right? And Colton, last year was not completely on him the way that he played. He obviously didn't play that well, but like it wasn't completely.
He's also making $4.75 million.
Of course, but like it wasn't completely his fault. And you've said that yourself.
No, I'm not saying it was his fault, but again, you're using the word trust pretty loosely here.
I trust
UPL
UPL to go in if he's healthy to go in and win a game.
to be a consistent starter. I think I've been pretty clear on that in the conversations about Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Do I think a guy is an athletic freak? Yeah, but I think mentally he's soft compared to other goalies that he's played with, the Craig Andersons, the James Reimers, the Devin Levis, and now Alex Lyon. Like I don't trust him that when push comes to shove and he's backed into a corner like he currently is. This man is backed into a corner right now. Like right now, you could argue he might be the third goalie on the depth chart in Buffalo. Could be, especially if Ellis starts tomorrow, then I genuinely just don't see the point of why they even called him up as early as they did. Because
well, I think it's more so like very, very much related to what their plan was going into the season. If he's actually healthy, everything related to that. Like ideally, their thought was UPL as the starter and Lyon as his steady backup with the potential to take over if he needed to. So yeah, they got really lucky with Colton Ellis, but their vision for that goalie room 1 and 2 was a combination of UPL and Alex Lyon, no doubt.
Sure, I agree. That's definitely the direction they wanted to start the season. I personally
things change, right? Obviously, things change on a drop of a dime. I don't think we expected Michael Kesselring to be out as long as he has. I don't think anybody expected Connor Timmins to be playing second pairing minutes. Matthias Samuelsson to be playing up with Dahlin.
Connor Timmins has been fantastic.
He's been good. Like Kulik to be the first line center. I don't think anybody expected a lot of what's happened related to the injuries. And how about that new strength and conditioning staff, huh? Pretty good. I know it's not necessarily related to that, but it's not ideal. I mean, not ideal. Either way.
Say when you say you didn't expect these things to happen, because each guy you're talking about has been a pretty injury prone player, right? UPL's been pretty injury prone. Josh Norris, well, we knew he was coming in, pretty injury prone.
I guess the best example is Zach Benson taking a puck off the face and going to the hospital.
That one for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
So yeah, I mean, even like Zucker didn't miss a game, but like it looked like he had separated his shoulder.
That looks bad. When we heard in the chat that he was playing tonight, I was like, what? Like,
I mean, they might have popped his shoulder back in. Honestly, I wouldn't.
Even when you separate a shoulder and pop it back in, you're normally not ready to play 24 hours. You know,
separating a shoulder and dislocating a shoulder are two different injuries. You can dislocate it and pop it back in, and then it's just sore. If you actually separate it, then you have to be in a sling, and then you're out for a month or two. But yeah, I mean, shout out to him. I'm sure he was playing through some pain, and speaks to his leadership, speaks to his toughness, especially at 33 years old. But yeah, I guess what I'm saying is that I personally, maybe everybody has a different opinion, if UPL is healthy and he's gotten the appropriate amount of shots in practice and he looked pretty good in Rochester the other night, rehab start, I trust him to start tomorrow night in Toronto. I do. And I think that he has the ability to go in there tomorrow night and play a good game and get the win for the Sabres. So
better hope, because
that's
the team's going to come in tomorrow pissed off.
There is hope involved, but there's also like, I've seen this guy play a lot of hockey, and I know that at his best, he is a top 15 NHL starter at his best. I really believe that. He proved it with that contract, did he not?
He played 35 games. I mean,
it was more than that.
What are you talking about?
Even the season before that, in the second half of the season, he had a really good stretch.
He had below 900 save percentage.
No, the season before that.
Yeah,
I'm saying like he had a stretch for two. He had a stretch for two.
Are we talking about the same season? Are we talking about the season where they gave him the contract, or are you talking?
No, it was the season before that. He also had a stretch in the second half of the year where he was very, very good. He was
still had over 3 goals against and under a 900.
No, it wasn't for the entire season, but it was a 2-month stretch where.
But that's the thing, dude.
I know.
It, like,
but what I'm saying is that
82-game season.
I think he has the potential. The reason they gave him the contract in the flashes that they've seen, I think he has the potential to be a top 15 goalie in the league. I really believe that.
Hasn't shown it yet, man. He's been in the NHL for 3+ seasons now.
He's shown it in spurts. So, I mean, better than nothing.
82-game season, bud.
Well, he's never going to play 82 games.
No, but if you're talking about you got to be a top 15 goalie in the National Hockey League, He needs to play minimum 60 games.
Well, nobody really plays. Not that many goalies play 60 games anymore.
If you're talking top 15 guy,
I would say top
15. I want 60 games out of that.
Top 5 to 10 guys play. Belkow, Connor Hellebuck, Igor Shesterkin, Jake Ottinger. They play 60 plus games. Top 15, top 20 guys, they play 45 to 60.
I mean, I just don't. Again, sure, you've seen really good games from him.
I'm strictly talking ceiling here, right? As you've mentioned, he has all the tools. He has shown it in 2 to 3 month spurts. He's still young. He's recovered from a very traumatic and potentially chronic injury that everybody thought he wouldn't be able to recover from. Guy's gone through a lot in a short amount of time. And for him to still be battling and I think we all agreed that at the time, obviously last season wasn't great, but at the time, that's the contract that he earned and deserved. Was it not?
So not to go back to the previous subject. I'm looking at games played last season for starting goaltenders. Vasilevsky led the way with 63, Hellebuck 63, Montembeault with 62, Shesterkin with 61, Sorokin with 61. So those are your top 5 goalies in games played, and then it's like a 10-way tie at 58 starts between Saros.
And 5 guys play 60 plus games.
But if we're talking top 15 goalie, okay, so the next closest guy is 59 and 58. But you're never gonna get that from UPL.
Well, I think saying never is disingenuous to his potential.
His potential is getting hurt.
Well, I mean, he's had a tough road.
And being inconsistent.
But he's had a tough road, but as you mentioned, his traits and everything about who he is.
I don't deny the guy.
And we all know that the goaltender
doesn't have it up here, dude.
But I'll say the goaltender, well, you can't quantify that. The goaltender position has proven time and time and again that it takes a longer time for these guys to develop, right? They thrust Evan Levi there as a 21-year-old to start an NHL season when he wasn't fully ready, and then look what happened. I'm saying that even Alex Lyon is 33 years old, or soon to be 33 years old, and he's playing the best hockey of his career. It takes longer for some guys to get there mentally. But even in the
AHL, dude, he was awful.
I know. What I'm saying, though, is that sometimes it's a non-linear road. Look at Colton Ellis. He got drafted in the 3rd round in 2019.
But he put up good numbers in the AHL.
UPL's AHL numbers weren't horrible.
Below 900 save percentage.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's...
come on.
Situation specific. Situation specific.
What are we talking about here?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I in the same way, I'm allowed to have a take.
If you want to say
on a player, and I'm bullish.
Goalie, if you want to say, averages start, I'll get on board with you there. But I'm not saying no chance UPL is going to be a top 15 goalie in this league, given just his inability to be a mentally strong goaltender and inability to stay healthy.
Yeah, I think it's hard to quantify being a mentally strong goaltender. I really do. That's
mentally strong is when you are healthy, stringing wins together and stringing games, which he was unable to do.
As we both know, he's been very much a product of these shitty teams.
But he also lost the net again with those same shitty teams in front of him, to James Reimer, to Craig Anderson.
Like we've both said many times that last season was not
40-year-old goaltenders.
I mean, last season was not good for him. He said it himself. So it is now his opportunity to prove that was the anomaly. That wasn't who he's going to be moving forward. I personally believe that he is a very good goalie, and he earned that contract that he got.
He's going to end up being a career backup, man.
Oh, I guess. I mean, we can. I hate the phrase "agree to disagree." We disagree on this. I
think we do.
I fully believe in his potential. I really do. And in the right situation, especially with this team, which has shown 7 games into the season that they can be at least slightly defensively responsible, and they're better in front of their own net, and they can clear rebounds. They're better on the PK. They're not giving up these crazy high danger chances. Obviously, Lyon's been good. He's been above average to begin the season.
I'll put it this way.
UPL at his best, I think, is as good or better than Alex Lyon.
Do you think with UPL and tonight they get that game in the garage?
When he's at his best, yeah, of course. Absolutely. Duane, you've seen him pull games out of his ass. Are you forgetting all the good games he's had?
I'm not saying I'm forgetting all the good games he had, but I've also remembered all the times where he's let in beach balls when the teams needed saves.
Of course, and
While
that's
protecting
happened.
leads.
That's happened with a lot of Sabres goaltenders. I'm just saying specifically, given the investment the team has in him and the commitment that they've made and what he's battled back from, and also how young he is with the traits that he has, I fully believe in his potential to be not only a starting goalie in this league, but to be the starter and the bell cow for not only this season, but seasons moving forward. Lyon has taken advantage of his opportunity. It's his net, and it will be his net until he gives it up. But I really do believe in Ukko Pakalukinen, and I think he will prove me right.
I mean, again, we can agree to disagree, and I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I genuinely do, because I just want this team to win. I want this team to be,
wouldn't be a bad problem to have if you just have two guys like going at an insane rate.
We'll see. So, but if Colton Ellis does get the start tomorrow, what does that say to you about UPL?
I would say that they don't necessarily feel completely confident with his health.
Then why bring him back? Why recall him?
And that's why it would confuse me why they dress him tonight. And that's why I think he's going to start tomorrow. Personally. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe like you said, maybe they wanted to get him shots and warm-ups. Like that doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know. Just maybe get him around the team. I don't know. Personally, man, I just, again, he did play one game in Rochester, sure, but in a divisional game, I'm going to go. If it was my opinion, I'm asking Alex Lyon tomorrow morning how he feels.
I think I personally think
if this was a low event game, I think that was maybe more of a.
He had 31 saves tonight, though.
Yeah, it wasn't a low event game.
Yeah.
If you're looking at like a 22-23 save performance and a 5-3 win, then sure, maybe you could have that conversation.
Especially because the time was moved up too. I don't think it'd be prudent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how much of a difference, because
that'd be 3 hours though. Like that's 2 games in less than 24 hours.
Yeah,
that'd be tough.
It would be, but if it was my choice, I'd be asking him tomorrow how he felt, because I get that, given how well I just don't want to lose out on division points.
Also, like 33 years old, like you don't want to risk injury.
Sure, yeah,
you really don't.
But before we get out of here, do you have any final thoughts? What's the score of the Jays game?
They won 11-4.
It is final 11-4. Awesome. So we're halfway there. Buffalo win. Jays win.
For the weekend.
Rochester beat Laval. Just need another Sabres win, another Jays win, and a Bills to absolutely shit on the Panthers Sunday.
Which I am not feeling great about, but we'll see what happens.
Are you more scared of Andy Dalton than you
would
have
been? I'm scared because I think their defense is actually pretty good, and our offense.
Oh no, they definitely are. Defense is solid,
especially their run defense, and we've shown that when we can't run the ball, we can't throw the ball. So, I don't know. I think we'll win, but I think it's going to be a frustrating nail biter.
And now you see all the trade rumors about Chris Olive and AJ Brown and how you say his name,
Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave, AJ Brown,
Waddle. There was that rumor floating around for a minute. It's kind of surprising me that Bean would wait till now to really.
I think it'll be
just got off the bye.
I think it's very much based upon what happens on Sunday. If they're able to move the ball, if they're able to separate, score some points, he may not be as desperate to make a move. But
I think all I needed to do was watch that first game with Rice back in the lineup with Kansas City. I don't think I need to see my team perform against the Carolina Panthers to know that there isn't really an addition outside of the organization I feel that they could make to make that team. I guess what I'm trying to say is I think the only way you're going to make your team more competitive with the Chiefs come playoffs is adding offensively rather than defensively, because you're just going to have to outgun them. And I don't.
I've said that.
Our offense against their offense, it's not a competition.
I've said that since 13 seconds. You're not going to beat them unless you outscore them. But no, I'm with you. But Sabres wise, obviously, the vibes are back. great win tonight. The team looks different. They feel different. It seems like they believe in each other and they have each other's backs. Goaltending discussion. It's complicated, just like it has been for a while, but I think it's a good thing, especially if all three guys are, I don't think they're going to do a rotation, but if you have at least two of the three playing well, it's going to be never a bad thing for your organization. And Alex said that he wished they could all win the Vezina, right? Like, I think he's been motivated by it. UPL potentially will be motivated by it, given that seemingly he's lost his starting spot, obviously due to injury, but like, it is what it is at this point. Like, he's just got to go out there and perform. And if he doesn't, right? Like, I'll be wrong. And then they'll have to figure out what to do with Colton Ellis, or if they trade him or whatever. But it's created a situation that I think is going to be good for everybody. As we've talked about before, when your back's against the wall, sometimes that's when you play best. So we'll see what happens with that. Be interesting tomorrow morning. We find out is starting. And little rivalry. Another game in 18 hours, and we go from there. But 500, third in the Atlantic. Who would have thought that a week and a half ago?
Yeah, right. When they were 0-3. I do want to recognize our sponsors real quick. Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room, with over 300 beers to choose from at 7 different Western New York locations. If you need a beer, make sure you make it a Fatty Beer. Let them know 2 Goalies, 1 Mike sent you. And as always, Extreme Discount Mattress. Unbelievable savings, up to 80% off of your everyday low prices, which are already 1/3 to 1/2 the price of the competitors' so-called sales prices. Choose from floor models, one-of-a-kind closeouts, and discounted models. You'll find premium mattresses for pennies on the dollar. No phony markups, 2 markdown gimmicks. These mattresses are the real deal. Stop in to their closeout and liquidation center at 1625 Walden Avenue in Cheektowaga. See for yourself. Open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And, of course, Sunday, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. And you should definitely, absolutely check out this particular model that is exclusively available at Extreme Discount Mattress.
We know with Skechers, your day starts with the comfort and support you need for your feet. And now that same innovation has made its way to the bedroom. Introducing the Skechers Sleep System. With cooling SketchKnit fabric, pressure-relieving Skechers Max cushioning, and our Skechers Posture Fit support system. Your day ends just like it began, with Skechers comfort that never stops. Skechers mattresses, exclusively at Extreme Discount Mattress, the lowest prices in the nation.
She was unrolling all of them and biting.
That being said, guys, it has been a pleasure. Sabres get the big dub over the Toronto Maple Leafs, 5-3. I am Duane, for my co-host Connor Hurley. I'll hang up and listen. Thanks for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this content, please make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your audio podcasts. If you're watching on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, please sure you hit that subscribe button. The like button, too, goes a long way. We always appreciate it. And as always, go Sabres. We'll talk to you later.